You don't have enough reference experiences of you being successful to truly feel like a success. That is the hard part. Bridging the gap between not having the experience and mastering up the tiny amount of courage to get the flywheel going. But that is how you do it, by building habits and behaviors that increase your competence over a long period of time. Super rate. In a sense, the idea of thinking and you achieve it is true. There is power in positive thinking, especially in the beginning, because you are just going to have to lie to yourself a bit and pretend like you have the confidence to get any momentum going. But to make the confidence stick, you will need to develop evidence to back it up. When you build more evidence, you create an upward spiral. If I could burn one sentence in your brain, it is this: you never remain at stasis. Either you are building momentum or further succumbing to inertia. We have all had these moments where we have hit a streak of good luck or demonstrated skill in some area for a long enough period of time. You get momentum. Notice how your confidence is context dependent. The nerd who can't socialize feels no fear over his ability to play video games. In fact, he is quite the macho man with the headset on. Why? Because when you are in your zone and element built on competence, confidence comes naturally. The trick is getting this to occur in the areas that don't come easy to you, but you are desperate to get good at. Think of an area you want to increase your confidence in. Let's say you're socially awkward and lack confidence talking in front of or to other people. Find the teeniest little step you can take that sends a signal to your brain saying you are good at talking to people. This could be finding the most non-threatening person possible in public, like a 106-year-old woman, and asking them something simple like, "What is the time?" Your next step could be trying to have 1 minute of small talk with someone in line at the gas station. Next, you could attend a local speech club and just watch. The next time you introduce yourself, the next time you speak. I am in 3 different Toastmasters clubs, and it's amazing watching people gradually get unstifled themselves, gain confidence by simple exposure therapy. You just can't be as afraid of giving a speech after you do it 27 times. Impossible. And I have seen people go from visibly shaking on stage to delivering a speech with confidence. You are always trying to invest in your credibility bank account. You operate on a feedback loop, both positive and negative. Each action you take tells you are either moving forward or backward. Make more deposits into the credibility account and you will start to feel better about yourself. None of this is easy or fair or right. It is just is. I can't convince you to love yourself. No one can. Only you can. And changing your behavior is the best route. You know why it is so hard to change? Why it is so hard to develop confidence in certain areas? Why we find ourselves getting swallowed by our own insecurities? The answer is simple. We find it hard to admit we have a problem in the first place. You build up a self-image to cope with the reality of your life. Those daydreams of being your ideal self are enough to shield and protect you from the reality that you are not. The key to breaking the cycle is to put yourself in situations that crash with and even destroy your ego. It can be as tough and painful as it sounds. You have to decide whether or not it is worth going through. Who wasn't to admit to themselves that they have irrationally low confidence? Who wants own up to being lazy? Who genuinely wants to take a look at their actions and see that they are responsible for their fuck-ups? Rationalizing doesn't feel great either, but at least it gives us an out. And this is exactly what the institutions, media, and society as a whole want. Marketers don't hate the fact that you blame them for creating unrealistic standards. They want you to think that because their marketing wouldn't work so well if we all believed that we were the ones responsible for our own lives. If you make them the disease by giving your self-esteem away to an outside entity, you also make them the cure because you are admitting they have control over you. It's better for the societal machine if we all go about our days thinking that our setups are a reflection of our circumstances instead of a reflection of the way we see our own behavior. If you think about it deeply, this misguided form of self-talk keeps the world spinning. While everyone else spins and spins, get out of the cycle and realize that your self-doubts are in fact a signal that you need to change something about your behavior. When you actually admit to yourself, yeah, I kinda suck at this and I need to get better, you have taken the first step. The realization that the power is within you to change the way you see yourself gives you the fuel you need to follow through. To change, don't feel bad about feeling bad about yourself. It is normal. Once you accept how normal it is, the burden gets lifted off of you and you can begin anew. You are a unique individual with unique circumstances. So the exact recipe for turning your life around is a misery to me. Some themes that have been true and consistent over a long enough span of human history for me to make some educated guesses though. I won't beat this horse to death. It doesn't matter how you do it. No specific recommendations here. But if your body doesn't feel good, it is hard for you to feel good. And the process of getting healthier is no easy thing. But it is so worthwhile that repeating it millions times is okay. My confidence was at an all-time low. Not only had I let my relationship double, but I let my health spiral downward as well. So what did I do? Say affirmations? Nope. I got in better shape. Did it help my confidence just a tad? Yeah. From superficial reasons why getting in shape makes you more confident to the true scientific and psychological ones like endorphins, serotonin, dopamine. Focusing on your health is bound to move the needle. Almost impossible for it not to. I don't know what it is. There is just something about working on your evil plan that makes you feel really good about yourself. Making things makes you feel better. When you have this little evil project you are working on, you embody this quote from one of my favorite authors, Robert Greene. Always seem patient, as if you know that everything will come to you eventually. You begin to create that I am going places vibe. Keep stacking those little habits on top of one another: fitness, business, self-improvement, getting out of the house, and all of a sudden you are well-rounded and confident. A core, almost permanent confidence will develop after you have so many well-oiled machines operating at once. Following through on a mission is quite a deep level of core confidence to build, which is why I urge people to do it. Having some little hobby or business to call your own gives you a sense of agency and purpose that is hard to build elsewhere. I've gone over this process several times, but it's important nonetheless. I used to think doubling down on your strengths was the only thing you need to do, but working on your weaknesses is important too. Don't get pigeonholed into identities just because they help you stay in your shell. You are a natural introvert. That is no excuse to stay at home and build on social skills. You are not extremely organized. That doesn't mean you can't develop habits and routines to stay organized. Outside of things like becoming a professional athlete, almost all skills and traits can be learned. It will just take you longer to learn certain skills and traits than it might for others. Oh well, what are you going to do about it? Lately, my work has been focusing on difference between what's true and what we want to believe. I don't always get right, and I am always willing to revise my option. But for now, the path to a permanently confident you seems to involve taking responsibility for yourself no matter what. Even if your lack of confidence isn't all your fault, you can wait on someone or something else to fix it for you because that will never happen. It is on you. But fortunately, you are much more capable than you know, like way more. The good news, confidence is all in your mind. The bad news, confidence is all in your mind. The psychological world runs much deeper than the material world. In many ways, it dictates the material world. Your life is mostly a self-fulfilling prophecy based on your reactions to the experiences you have had in your life. Someone else can have the exact same experience as you, but interpret it and react to it in an entirely different way. That statement alone contradicts any narrative in your head that your life has to be the way it is right now. It doesn't. Can you change your life? Yes. Will you? I don't know. You tell me. What I will tell you is this. You can reach a level of confidence so high that it doesn't go away. You will no longer have to worry or think about it anymore. Keep stacking those infinity stones until you can have whatever you want at the snap of a finger.